Hello and welcome back. I am Almrek and it is great to have you here. This is the third game of my first Meeple League tournament, and for this match I've added links in the description below to the start of the different ages, so you can easily jump to the part of the match you're most interested in watching. First, let's take a quick look at the standings. And here we are again at the Meeple League Through the Ages Season 13 online tournament page. And so far we've watched two games from this tournament. We watched Game 2 and Game 7. We managed to pull out the win in those two games, which is very exciting, Game 2 and Game 7. And now we're going to take a look at Game 5, which is between Albin 6, Almark, Stragan, and Vianu. And if I get any of those names wrong, you are welcome to complain to me, because it's likely. And so the standings, as they exist at this point, are Group 4C, Vianu and Almeric are in first place. So we are tied for first with 2 wins and 2 games completed. Hotshot's close, but with 4 games completed, so you can't really get any higher. And certainly anybody else could win 2 games and hop up into first. So this should be an exciting match. We'll see how we can do against Vianu. So let's jump into it. Here we go. We're in the first spot for this game. And we have not the best choices. Let's see what's in the game. I mean, there's things better than Hanging Gardens. Darwin's in the game, which I enjoy Darwin quite a bit. And the library, Coliseum, Ashoka. He's late for 3. I mean, any of them are fine. So if we don't take Hanging Gardens, we could hope for Coliseum, or that the library pops out. Hanging Gardens and Mike is here, which is not too bad. Yeah, there's no Janzitska. And the rest are okay. There is the Suez Canal, there's James Cook and Isabella. So that could be nice. There's no, wow, not a single leader for labs. That's really interesting. You could do Fleming for a library. But really, not much of anything that goes with science here. It's pretty interesting. So what does that mean for the earlier game? Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone tell me what that means for the earlier game. Red Cross is here. So Caesar could be nice just in Coliseum for getting some extra draws. Maybe we get some territories, can get to Isabella and James Cook. The Suez Canal. I mean, Hanging Gardens to Mike to Darwin is not too bad also. So, that being said, what do we want to do on this turn? Moses? I'm not too excited about that here. And get some extra, yeah. Hanging Gardens is okay. Richland is also okay. Let's see. Blue can get one of these leaders or these 2. I mean, there's really not, yeah, yellow can grab Coliseum or something. So I don't think Coliseum will stick around. It might. I don't think it will. So I guess if we don't get Hanging Gardens, we'd be hoping for the library. So maybe we just grab this. I don't know that there's particularly anything better. So we'll grab, maybe Caesar comes out. We can grab Caesar with the Hanging Gardens. Kind of ambivalent here. I could go with that or Richland. Probably don't want Moses. So I guess if we can get Caesar, maybe we takes us down Isabella. If we don't, we can go down Mike. Makes Joan of Arc a little less good with Hanging Gardens because we won't need happy faces for her. For like, we won't need him on religion. We won't need him on theocracy. Well, let's give it a shot. Blue takes rich land and Moses. Yellow takes Alex and frugality. And red takes cultural heritage and Colosseum. So Colosseum did not stick around. The library did show up for one of these two. So we have Hanging Gardens. And what do we do now? So here, I think we talked about Caesar to help get some colonies for Isabella into Cook with Suez, potentially. Ashoka's not bad here, too. He's a late starter, so we could try that. So what would this look like? We're in the first spot, so we don't have to increase pop, so we could do this. Alternatively, I guess we would maybe not even elect him, I suppose. Just take one of those. Yeah, the next turn we have to elect him, increase pop twice. Build those, that's our whole turn. I think I'm gonna go with Caesar here. Let's see if we can make this happen. No territories yet. Blue, elects Moses. Took the library. What happened? Right, yellow built a bronze, takes urban growth, elects Alex, plays frugality. Red takes engineering genius and Boudica and elects Boudica. In the fourth spot, so maybe that's interesting. Yeah, okay, built a mine with rich land, Moses, and the library. So I don't have a population, so I probably don't want to play these events yet, unfortunately. So we would like to get some territories and get those seeded in. Maybe grab Isabella, Cook, and Suez if that works out. Here's the cartography. Is that going to make it down to me? We're going to have to, we're not going to take it for 3. So we're going to have to hope it makes it to us. So probably want to do something like that. I think we want to do that. Yeah, that'll be fine. And take breakthrough. Seems pretty solid. Getting an iron or irrigation is nice, but I don't think we can do that right now. This is only going to help us with development of religion. We're going to be able to use it on the warrior anyway. Do we actually need that population? We probably do, because we want to play 2 events next turn. We would really have liked... Should we just play these now? Push the event deck a little bit. And the problem is that they have population. And I don't. So the worst case is we miss out on impact of religion and we don't get this. Maybe I'm okay with that risk here. You know, I mean, odds are that we won't get it in these 2. So we can't take warfare anyway. So maybe it's okay. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm gonna gamble here. So we'll do immigration. And immigration is going to be good if we can finish the Hanging Gardens. Do we think we can finish that in time? We can make it happen, I think. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, 1 down, 1 more to go. Great. Now, do we have to worry about corruption? Nope, we're good. Okay, sweet. So, good to go there. And now we can end this turn. All right, 1 event. I don't know, an aggression. There's Isabella, so we want these 2. They're right next to each other, so maybe someone else grabs them. But we'd like to get them, even though we didn't put a territory in. And as soon as we get them, no one else is going to put territories in, so we'll see how it goes. Blue finishes the library and increases population. That's pretty good. Yellow builds a lab, increases population, makes classes build a stage. Red plays an event, reveals development of trade routes. Builds a bronze, increases population, builds a lab, increases another population. Doesn't spend their resources. And it's our turn. I think we can put that event in. And probably not do the aggression. We did not get a territory yet. And Isabella has showed up. So we'll have to figure out what to do about that. So we get 2 science and skip the second politics. I guess we probably want iron here, right? There's lots of things here we want. We'd like to finish that wonder before immigration hits. Which it could by the time it gets to us. So I don't know. You do that. But we have corruption. And it doesn't seem worth it. We don't have a knight's tactic yet. But we could grab it. Monarchy is pretty good here. Kind of hard to turn that down. We're not getting cartography or Isabella, but I feel like that whole plan's kind of blown up now at this point. We haven't seen what we've needed to see, and things have come out in the wrong order. So we'll let that go. Iron is probably better than irrigation. We don't need these because we're getting iron. Is there a way to get monarchy? There is. Or theocracy. Probably not going to take Isabella now. Don't need to grab her for 2, I don't think. Could get theocracy and look for Joan. Yeah, I'm not really compelled to try to do anything else except this here. Just kind of stall on anything else. We could take monarchy. We have corruption. That's not good. I think that's fine. Maybe we look for Machu Picchu. Yeah, or Forbidden City or Great Wall, really. Forbidden City's not going to be as good here. We could grab Mike if he's still around. Wouldn't be too bad. I think this is good though. Let's go with this. Okay. Blue reveals development of politics. Increases population twice. Builds a warrior twice. Takes monarchy and irrigation. Yellow plays an event. Reveals development of religion. Finishes Colossus. Increases pop. Takes cartography and Isabella. Oh, they have all the territories that I didn't get. Red takes knights and develops it. Increases pop. Builds one. Stage of Colosseum. And it's our turn. We are not strongest. We don't have a good path to get strongest currently either. Okay. I mean, we put these 2 strength events in. We don't really want them to come out right now. So we'll build a temple, and then I guess do that. So now we're strong enough, probably. We could get this code of laws, or this monarchy. Or an Alchemina breakthrough. Can't really do Mike right now. We need the strength, I think. So we can finish Hanging Gardens next turn. Immigration. How are we looking for immigration? I mean, good enough. I guess blue could get theology. Can't actually build it. Well, they can after the religion, I guess. Then they would get a population. I don't see. Well, yeah, red. Could finish that Colosseum, and then they would win immigration. I don't think we can do anything about that. We just have to hope it doesn't show up until we finish this next turn. Breakthroughs better than reserves here. Can't take those. Code of laws could be a thing. Maybe we get this monarchy. Let's see. No, we probably won't. Someone down here grabs it. So we could get Joan in theocracy, but that is gone already. Maybe we'll be able to get that. It seems unlikely, though. If that's the case, then there is another code of laws, too, so we could potentially wait for that. What does it look like if we take it? Yeah, not very good. Yeah, I don't like that here very much. And drama is not necessary to take here. So, I mean, we probably want to build this. We don't need to. But yeah, I think we want to. And then I go like this. It's the first alchemy. So let's go with that. And unfortunately, we don't get to play an event. We're good there. We might still get knights, and that will be a good tactic. I mean, aggressions with Caesar are nice. And, I mean, I'd like to keep many of these cards. I don't know. Maybe we just go with that. Might be hard to win. Might be hard to win colonization against yellow. So maybe we don't need to keep them. Yep. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win, but I'll keep these for now. Anyway, we might not play an event next time because of immigration. And I think it's likely we won't be stronger. And we might not have Caesar to do 2 aggressions. So we'll just keep it at this for now. And blue reveals immigration. All right, so it came out first thing. At least we still get it, even though we're sharing it. Builds a religion, increases population, discovers monarchy. Plays fighting men, takes reserves, takes theology. Yellow elects Isabella, discovers cartography, although did not play an event. Builds 2 warriors, increases pop, takes code of laws. They had we'll look at that. So finishes Colosseum, builds a warrior, plays phalanx, and begins Forbidden City. Gotcha. All right. So yellow, yeah, took Alex's token. We do not have any events. Poor Caesar does not have an event to play. So we get a population though, and I think we. Well, now we don't really need to finish this. Our motivation for finishing that has gone down. We are weak though, which is bad. I think we turned a knight down somewhere along the way, didn't we? Maybe not. That's a different game. There's 2 knights here. So what do we do? Probably alchemy. And monarchy. Seems solid. Pretty weak though. So we upgrade this once. How's rats looking? Not good. Yellow. Did you put rats in yellow? Yellow put one of these events in. Who has the most cultured? Blue, and you are among the 2 weakest. So we can build that, play that. So now we are still among the 2 weakest, unfortunately, for call to arms. Not much we can do about it, though. I guess we can discover this warfare, but that feels terrible. Now, with 2 actions left, we can increase population and take monarchy. That seems okay. It's probably about the best we can do. Is yellow going to get stronger? Yeah, yellow plays or copies a tactic here. So they will go to 7. Almost certainly. They play an event. So I guess I'm just wondering if it's worth playing this tactic or not. So we will probably do this. I don't need irrigation. So here I'm going to be weaker for blue's event that they're not playing anyway. I'm going to be weaker for yellow. The only event I wouldn't be weaker for is red. So I'm allowing yellow to not copy a tactic, but lets them draw cards. I guess we can. It doesn't hurt too much here, I guess. It doesn't help too much either, but I think that's fine here. So I think this is a turn. Not too bad. I guess playing this tactic makes it harder to bid for any colony that might be in here. So it hurts in that way as well. We're not really going to win on a territory anyway, though. So there's a chance a territory comes out, yellow gets weaker, and in that situation I would then be stronger if I play this, but still, blue's not going to play an event here. So yellow plays an event and gets weaker. So it's really just red's event again anyway, and yeah, whatever. So if we play, we would go down 3, right? So we would go down 2-3 in this situation. Yeah, I don't really know. I'll go ahead and play it. And end this turn. We got that. We got that territory. Blue reveals call to arms. Unfortunately, we are second weakest. And then they, I don't know, developed irrigation, did something else, upgraded, built a warrior. And then yellow plays an event and reveals. Oh, foray. That's too bad. So we don't get that. Takes alchemy, irrigation, develops irrigation, upgrades one, builds a warrior. So they're up to 7, and then let's see, red is going to, play an event. Inhabited territory. So, I mean, you'd think yellow's going to win this, right? I mean, they have a 3 bonus, a bunch of warriors, no tactic to worry about. So I guess the best we can do is make them spend a card or a resource, which would be 4. I'm probably okay putting 4 in, then they'll have to go to 5. We are not going to have the most culture, so we don't have to worry about barbarians. So let's go with this. I mean, I basically don't want to win this at this point, but if we could survive if this happened. I mean, right, we don't want to put 3 in. This is ridiculous. 6 resources, which we have a lot of resources. Actually could not rebuild them, unfortunately, unless we finish this and then we don't have the resources to rebuild. So, you know, unless Knights comes out or something, it just doesn't seem reasonable that we can build 3, but I'll go to 2. Yep, so made yellow at least pay something, a little bit of something, probably just a resource, but it's the best we can do. And yellow wins it, sends a warrior and a card. And then red takes Gutenberg, elects him, takes alchemy, increases population, builds a knight. Up to 9 strength. So I'm at least not the weakest, but I probably don't want to put strategic territory in. So we could take Leonardo or Saladin here. Yeah, and we lose a civil action from Call to Arms also. We don't need to finish Hanging Gardens quite yet, but we'll need to next turn. So we can do, yeah, I don't know. So we could elect Leo, develop monarchy, upgrade, build one of those. We're not really hurting for resources though, so Leo's not the best at the moment. I don't know really if Saladin is a whole lot better. Do we want that drama? It wouldn't be bad for us. We don't really need urban growth or rich land. Not really. We could take urban growth for upgrading this. We would like this knight though. There's another one, so maybe we don't quite need to grab it for 3. And red has knights, so it will be a little easier for us to get it. So we could just take it and be, well, I guess we would do monarchy and take it and be done with it. That doesn't seem good though. So Saladin, elect him, monarchy, upgrade, and then I guess we can use him for strength. So we get an extra strength from him over Caesar, and that's really about it. Until we get the knight and we can switch him to a civil action. Or we use Leo to get some resources. And some science. Let's see, is there pestilence, or is pestilence or rats could be here? We're also weaker now. We don't really like that. There's really not much we can do, unfortunately. I think I'm not sure that Leo is the right choice here, or Saladin. I think at this point, he'd just be giving me an extra strength. Which, I mean, it's not horrible, because then it helps us hold off until we can get a knight. We switch to this tactic, so we don't need to build a warrior. For example, if we developed monarchy, upgraded this, and maybe built 2 stages of hanging gardens. So now we're set up pretty good for next turn. We have to finish this, we have to get a knight and a leader. I would really be happy with Joan of Arc or Eleanor here. Eleanor would be good to transition at the end of the age into a new leader, helps get through military cards, find a tactic in H2, which is important. With medieval army, it could be slightly less important in the short term, though. So this is great, except we're still weakest. You know, so to fix that, we'd have to build another warrior, which you don't really want when you're trying to get to this tactic. So, you know, Saladin does help with that. And then I guess we probably do that. And we don't have to grab a leader next turn, so really it's about finishing Hanging Gardens and getting knights, hopefully for 2, which, you know, may not happen. So you may want to do a stage of Hanging Gardens instead. So we can't research knights next time. So we're hoping that the Saladin strength holds up. And it's just a matter of whether we want to be weakest for a round here or not. You know, you think yellow played inhabited, maybe red played foray, which means blue played this one and maybe it's not strength. And then blue played a couple there, which probably aren't strength, and yellow's likely isn't. So there's a good chance they're not too awfully strength related. I think in this situation, this may be the best. I don't particularly like any of the options, but there's 3 things we need to do. Finish this wonder, get a leader, and get knights is the hope. And if we don't take a leader this turn, for example, if we just do something like this, then there's no way we're going to do all 3 of those things next turn. And we're weakest. There's a lot of bad events in here still. 25 or 30% of them are bad. And so we can invest this population in the resource and the action over here. That's really not what we want to do. So I think in this situation, Saladin will be helpful enough. And yeah, so then this last thing. So next turn we have to finish this wonder and get knights. So if we have to do 3 stages and take knights for 2, we can't develop knights anyway. If knights is still on 3, then we won't get it if we need to finish this, and so maybe we just won't take it for 3. If we do this, if knights does somehow end up on 1, which is possible, then we could finish this, take knights, and develop it, and build one, and play the tactic. So this way we have the option. This way we don't. The only thing we lose out on here is we can't grab knights for 3. Or the other way around. With this option we can grab knights for 3, but I can't, it's hard to imagine that we would anyway. So I guess I opt for this, and we'll go with that. So we use Saladin for strength, and we discard these 2. Yeah, that's the second time that's happened. We discarded it and redrew it. It's kind of funny. And blue reveals Pestilence. Increases pop, upgrades a irrigation, takes Leonardo and Knights, and adopts Legion. Yellow reveals Barbarians. Blue gets hit by that, so they lose a population. Yellow increases it, builds a warrior, develops Code of Laws, takes Swordsman, takes Richland. Okay. Red develops Alchemy with Gutenberg, finishes Forbidden City, takes Urban Growth. Okay, so we are second strongest. We have no idea what's in there. We're going to lose that idle worker, and then we're finishing this turn. Probably have to increase population for corruption. And then we're in a bit of a weird spot, aren't we? We take Frugality, which we won't be able to use for a while. If we didn't increase population, we could take a Wonder, like the Great Wall. But then we have Corruption. But our resource production's pretty good, so maybe that's okay. We also have a Knight tactic, which is not going to work as well with the Great Wall. We can probably put an event in here. I think New Deposits looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and do that and see where that gets us. A wealthy territory. That is something we don't really need right now. Will it get us? No, it doesn't help with corruption in our situation. I mean, we might as well bid for it. Three. What is yellow gonna bid? Again. 5 or 6? 5 or 6? I mean, we definitely can't bid everything here. We would have 0 strength, or well, 2. And we really can't. We can get 2 of them back if we had to. If we finish this, build 1, rebuild 2 of those, and then we still have this one awkward sort of action left at the end. Oh, no, we wouldn't, because we have this pestilence. We can really only rebuild 1. If we put 4, then we beat yellow if they bid 1. But then we're going to be down 2 people, 3 people. We can get 1 of them back with this, right? 1, 2 back, plus this one goes back. So we can get 1. And we'd have the strength problem again that we had last time. The whole reason we took him. And we also don't really need resources right now. That's not our problem. So it's probably not worth digging ourselves a hole for that. I mean, if we didn't finish the wonder, we could grab knights and transition. But we need to finish the wonder. So 3. Yeah, I don't think this helps. Takes it away from yellow. Yeah, I think here, unfortunately, we can just do 3. I mean, if we were going to do 4, it would just be to take a card from yellow, but we're going to let someone else take that card from yellow. We'll just bid 1. We don't need to let them know we have these cards here. Unfortunately. And yellow wins it, as expected, for 3. 3 plus. So they send a warrior. Good for them. We lose a worker, so we need to finish this wonder. So we have some corruption. Rats is in there, unfortunately. So yeah. So I think we increase pop and then do I don't know what. Build a philosophy maybe. Like it's not the worst thing. And then we would just be hoping to get that knights. This yellow takes it, which seems fairly likely. So yeah, if we don't do that, then I think we would want to take one of these wonders. And Code of Laws is here, but we need something to do with these resources. And so Taj Mahal, Great Wall, Machu Picchu, and I think it would be the Great Wall. So they're both 9. So with Machu Picchu, like we don't really need the Great Wall Happy Face. And Machu Picchu would get us some extra food to increase population to use up the happy faces we have. So we're basically going to take 3 more out of the bank here and then just be stuck for a while. So we're going to have an extra happy face. If we do the Great Wall, we're going to have 2 extra right now, which we don't need. But the Great Wall is going to help us on military, which we will need. We're using Saladin for 2 right now. So when we replace him, we'll lose that. It's a ways away still. Yeah, I'm not sure what leader we're gonna go for here. Let's have to see what comes out. We're not really set up for anybody yet. I mean, Darwin would be fine with Hanging Gardens. So, I mean, Great Wall, I guess, kind of helps with Darwin because you wouldn't need the happy face from the religion. So maybe there's that. Yeah, and Machu Picchu would get us food and 2 resources. Can't finish it next turn. Finish it the turn after that. And I mean, it's a little late for Machu Picchu. There's no ocean liner. So I'm not sure that that's, I mean, I guess you could get Statue of Liberty or territory that we don't have in there right now. And with that, we could get by with just the 3 food production, but it's probably not going to be enough. So we have to get selective breeding anyway. Given the investment we have in warriors here, we don't have knights out yet. I think it's unlikely we'll get this knights. I think someone will take it. I think I'm going to grab Great Wall here. Just will help us compete on strength a little bit. And yeah, I think that's what I want to go with here. Now, in terms of the cards we get rid of, we want Strength from Saladin again. We will have Corruption. Getting rid of 2 cards. You still probably are not going to win territories because of yellow. So maybe we go ahead and get rid of that. And we'll just keep our eye out for a better tactic. If we need to, we can copy something, I guess. So let's try it. Okay, we got another event. That's good. Blue reveals Crusades. And we're not the weakest. Takes Masonry, researches it, takes Cultural Heritage for 2. Builds a lab. Yellow reveals Dark Ages. I lose 3, unfortunately. They upgrade an alchemy, build another warrior, take theology, and upgrade an irrigation. Red just did an aggression against yellow. Just take some cards. Thank you for that, red. They upgrade to an alchemy, take iron, take rich land, iron for 3. That is a really late 3 CA iron, I think. I wonder what he was expecting on that aggression. It did take a defense card away from yellow though, so that's good. And what happened? What was the thing that happened? Oh yeah, we lost 3 science. That's bad. Knowledge of the Ancients is probably good. We're not one of the 2 weakest. So I think we can play Knowledge of the Ancients here. I think that's pretty good. Hey, maybe we'll get a new deposits out of it. No, Raiders, but we're not one of the 2 weakest, so that's good. And now, what are we doing? The Knights did stick around, actually. So, that's a thing. So we can do Code of Laws. We could... take 2 stages of that and take Engineering Genius. So we sort of only need that. Because we have a lot of resources. I don't mind Swordsman here. increasing population seems good. Bread and circuses, maybe? Selective breeding would be nice. We can... That doesn't really help too much. We still need... And I guess we'd be second strongest for what? There's no reason to be second strongest right now. But what are the I think things that we need to do here? We need to increase population. Just sitting there, rats is still out there. And what else do we need to do? I don't know. That's sort of it. I still don't want to take knights here, especially since I just got rid of my tactics. So swordsman seems fine. Frugality is a turn too late. Code of Laws is not bad here. We have pretty good science. And I guess build a stage. We have the resources that I don't know that I want to use a CA on Patriotism or 2 on Engineering Genius. We're going to give blue Engineering Genius, or someone's going to get Engineering Genius for 1. I mean, and you never like to do that. Oops. Yeah, but there's really nothing else we can give up. We need to increase pop. I mean, I guess we could not take Code of Laws and just take Engineering Genius. Doesn't seem like the right move, though, to me. And, I mean, Patriotism's not bad here. Because, I mean, when we do want to build something, it will let us draw another card, which is always helpful. We have enough CAs we can actually play it. So maybe I don't mind Patriotism here, just to get the extra H2 military card draw. There's probably still territories in there, and we're probably still not going to get them. But I mean, if we wait long enough, it could happen. Scientific breakthrough. We could certainly play that. So I'm going to end the turn with this. I'm going to use strength because I still don't want to be weakest. And I'm going to get rid of plunder and one of these defense cards. Is blue getting stronger? Probably not. Crime wave, war, and plunder. There is an architecture. I mean, I don't have enough science for it because we did Code of Laws, but we could think about getting this before we finish the Great Wall. We'll see. The blue reveals vast territory. It's going to be pretty hard for us to bid for this again. We could certainly use it, but I mean, we could bid 1. I mean, you'd think yellow's gonna get it. If we bid 1, then we could defend everybody then. If we do anything more than that, then we can't. So let's bid 1 and not get it. Well, I guess what's the other choice? We make it so yellow has to at least use a card like that, or pay a resource or something. But it's not worth putting us in that position, and we can again let someone else do that for us. And then nobody really does.
So yellow sends away a warrior. It's good for them. Blue increases population, velocity, builds 1, takes iron, and plays reserves for 2 food. Yellow increases population, develops swordsman, increases population, builds a sword twice, takes engineering genius and warfare. Red develops iron, upgrades twice, takes scientific method, and perfect growth. Okay, so we're not the weakest, which is good. And so on our turn, and finishing the Great Wall is definitely good. Then with 2 actions we could take Cannon preemptively, although we don't know that we'll get a tactic, but Cannon or the Great Wall is really good. But there are 2 more cannons coming. You could take an efficient upgrade or rifleman maybe. Instead of finishing this, we could take architecture and then finish this next turn. Then it's kind of hard to get enough science for that. I guess we could. I don't have enough population to build something. Yeah, we definitely need to fix our food situation here. So with 1 food, what would we want to build? An alchemy or some military? The problem here is just that we somewhat likely could become the weakest. We don't really want that. I think we can play an event though. Probably crime wave here, since we're not weakest. Develop territory. But science would actually be nice for architecture. Then we can rebuild. Just yellow with every territory here. It's rough. So really just bid 1 more warrior, get 1 more territory. So if we bid 2, we'd be at 3. And then the 1 population, we would build that, maybe copy this tactic. So we would go from 3 to 5, 3 to 4, 5, plus 2 more, 7. So we likely would end up being weakest again. I don't think yellow's just going to bid 4 anyway. We also could develop swordsman or something. So, I mean, that's a lot to commit. And I mean, I guess all it does is make yellow spend something. can't imagine they're not going to. It's really just one resource. So, just to check that again, it would be, we could get riflemen, but we probably wouldn't. It would just be swordsmen. We'd have 2 there, so it's 3, 6, 7. And we wouldn't draw any cards. And we don't really have the people to spare either. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough spot. I think we're sort of, again, not in a good position to do much with this. I'm just going to do 3, and we'll see.
And yellow wins the colony. Sends away a warrior. So, couldn't get that either. And so, to finish or not finish the Great Wall, if we didn't finish it, what would we do? Can't really increase population. There's no selective breeding yet. Could take some yellows. Don't really want Newton. I don't think we want Newton anyway. Who's better? Nobel? Or... yeah, I don't know who's better. Teresa, maybe? Later on, if we can get some selective breedings up. But we're not going to be winning territories. Gaudi? Maybe? We're not set up real well for... well, I mean, actually, we're actually fine for Darwin, so that wouldn't be too bad if he's still around. And it comes back. Yeah, that's weird. I guess Nobel is who we'd be looking for. So let's see if we finish this. Then we're stronger, which is good. If we got rid of Saladin, we wouldn't be stronger anymore. Possibly could end up weaker. We're just not in a great position for Newton right now. I think we want to hold off. I mean, he does give us more science, which we do need. And then I guess we'd be looking for journalism then at this point. Selective breeding and then journalism. I mean, a problem, we don't make a lot of science, so we're not taking advantage of the extra CA that often right now. I don't think I'd like that. We can take efficient upgrade and architecture. But I'm not sure what I'm upgrading besides selective breeding, I guess, is one. And architecture, don't really have the science for it. We know new deposits is here. We make a lot of resources, so I don't think we need to invest in these yellows. I'm thinking cannon, because we have the Great Wall. We're going to want cannon at some point. We're going to want to use our CAs in something else in the future. So I think I'm going to go with this. And we probably still want the strength for now. And 2 cards to get rid of. guess those. I mean, we may, if we actually can pick up a cannon tactic, that would actually come in handy. It doesn't seem like we're ever going to win a territory, so we can get rid of that. Maybe get rid of both of them. There's no bell. Everybody could kind of use them. Alright, blue reveals rebellion. Takes rifleman, plays cultural heritage, develops rifleman, upgrades twice. And yellow takes coal, develops it, upgrades swordsman, takes opera. And red reveals knowledge of the ancients, takes Nobel, Lux Nobel, develops scientific method, upgrades, takes breakthrough. Okay. Oh, and then I did some other military stuff, like built a knight and played heavy cavalry. Alright, what are we gonna do? We can probably play an event. We might get new deposits. We only need to be not weakest, and it's unlikely we're going to be strongest, so we can probably put scientific breakthrough in. Let's see what the turn looks like. I guess we could do that to get strongest, I guess. And then not play an event. Blue played 2 of these and yellow played 1. They're not strong. I mean, yeah, they're not really. Probably not strength events, and one of them is probably one of these 2 territories. Yeah. So we probably won't do that. We'll probably do something more like... I don't think we want the Louvre here. So we're in a pretty good spot for Darwin with the 3 happy faces from the Wonders. We will need another one though, and we don't have a good answer for that, so we'll have to fix that at some point in Age 2. We have organized religion or team sports to help with that, I guess. But once we do that, we can take journalism for 1 and actually build one. And maybe develop swordsman, have a couple of patriotisms, and build all those. We can't actually make another population. Pestilence is gone. So we don't really need resources to build this as an example, because we can't get the population for it anyway. We need one of these 3 selective breedings to come out. Then this rich land could be helpful. But I'm sure we'll use these military resources at some point. So given that, we can play scientific breakthrough, because we will be getting a little more science. Okay, well that's pretty nice. And doesn't really change our plan at all. Yeah, which one should we take? I don't really know if it makes a difference. Yeah, so I was going to say we could do that to have 2 extra resources. And I guess draw a card. But I don't think that's what I want. I'd rather save it for when we need it and just take another patriotism, I believe. We're not going to draw an event, so if we do play an event, it's going to be that one, which is a little annoying. Yeah, I just think this is better here though. So 2 cards. It doesn't seem like those aggressions are gonna happen soon. Blue takes wave of nationalism in rich land. Develops iron, upgrades trust. Yellow takes James Cook. That came out just at the right time for yellow, huh? Lexham upgrades to coal, takes constitutional monarchy, and adopts fighting band. So Cook's giving him 5, or giving them 5. Red reveals uncertain borders. Okay, we're not weakest, that's good. Takes cavalrymen and Statue of Liberty. Okay, what do we want to do? Probably don't want to put strategic territory in there. We're holding a cannon, but don't have a tactic. Not real interested in putting that out yet. Scientific methods, not the best in this situation. Kremlin's fine. Suez Canal's not good. I really don't want yellow to get it. But it's just really not good for me either. There's likely not any more territories in here, because yellow hasn't played anything else. Yeah, that just is not good. I mean, blue's not going to take it. Yellow's going to get it for 2. Colonize something and get 5 more resources. It's going to be tough to compete with that. It's really expensive to hate pick this away, though. What else do we want to do on this turn? Urban growth. We can get another journalism next turn. Architecture would be really nice for building these journalisms. We don't need coal. This cavalryman would be nice if it makes it back around to me. This depends on whether yellow takes it or not. So we put that crime wave in, but it seems like it's going to hit us. And I don't think there's too much we can do about it, really. Discover navigation, perhaps? Still weakest, though. Yeah, I don't know what we could do. We could build a cannon. This. Where are all these selective breedings? I mean, that would be really nice. Or reserves, maybe? So we could do this. Now we're stronger. We don't lose a blue token in strength. Without a lot of resources, though, this is pretty expensive. I mean, we could take Suez and just... We'll get 6 more draws, probably in H2, see if we get a better territory. It could work out. So I guess we sort of just say crime wave is going to hit us, urban growth to build this journalism, architecture to help build it, Suez Canal, so yellow doesn't get it, basically. I'm going to spend 11 on this. And with this one territory, we'll get 5 or 6 back. Plus 4 strength and a bunch of cards. So we would want to do that probably early in H3. So we have to plan for that. Maybe we can get this engineering genius. Yeah. And then H3 wonders. Spaceflight Hollywood Red Cross. Spaceflight might end up being good. So let's say we don't take Suez Canal. What do we take? Navigation. Hand's kind of full now. Frugality. Cavalryman, I guess. Could actually get the card that we need. And then what? I mean, we just don't. Once we get that selective breeding, we can get some population and actually build them. Getting the cavalrymen is good here. Is yellow going to take it? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, especially if I take a Suez Canal, maybe he takes it. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I like the cavalryman pick here. Frugality is probably good too, because we'll get selective breeding, we'll get some food, but just to accelerate that a little. I like these two. The Suez Canal, though. It's going to add another civil action to taking one of these later on. Cost 4 to take it. It's going to cost 2 to build it. That's just a lot, but it's taking, I don't know, 5 times 7, 6 or 7. So 30, takes 30 resources away from yellow. I mean, is that worth it? Taking one for the team, right? I guess I just think it's probably worth it. I don't think blue's gonna take it. And then we'll just try to get that engineering genius when it comes out. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but yellow with Suez, I think, feels worse here. All right. So yell at me down in the comments if this is a bad move. And then we're just going to hope we get this cavalryman. But it really seems like yellow's going to take it. And hopefully we can just get a cannon tactic that we can use with the Great Wall here. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we did not get a territory. First selective breeding's out. Okay, Okay, so blue and red have an international trade agreement pact. Blue takes Kremlin, upgrades an iron, builds a stage, upgrades a rifleman, takes scientific method. And yellow revolts to constitutional monarchy. Red takes republic and develops it peacefully. And finishes the Statue of Liberty, takes selective breeding and frugality. Wow. They do have a lot of actions. And what are they getting from the pact? Red gets food, which they need for now. It's our turn. We're weakest. We know new deposits is next. We took this Suez Canal from yellow. It's kind of funny. They had this to say about it. I definitely don't want it more than him, but I want it because he wants it so bad. So we'll see how this goes. So we have one more draw to maybe get a better territory than strategic, so we don't need to finish this yet. What do we want to do on our turn here? We need food and selective breeding. Finally made its way out. They all came out very late. So we can get that done. Possibly we could take this cavalryman. Possibly. Let's see, we have not fixed happiness yet, right? Because of Darwin, we're losing one here. We have those two wonders with happiness, so we could even, could even do that. No, we can't. Scratch that. I don't mind a strategy here. Architecture, revolutionary idea, breakthrough is kind of nice. Might be weird. We don't need coal. Maybe we take this. Strategy, or we don't have enough room in our hand for everything that we would want here. Cavalryman's good for the tactic, but we have the Great Wall, so it's not quite as nice. Organized religion helps with this happiness problem. We're going to lose 2. We won't be able to increase another one. We don't have a way to fix that. So organized religion could help with that. Team sports has not come out yet. And Pierre's in the game. So there is a reasonable chance that we could get that. Everyone sort of does not have a good happiness answer yet, though. Kind of need to play this patriotism too, if we're going to use it. Might just not be worth using here. I guess it helps us be stronger for crime wave. That could be worth something. But that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So we're ahead on culture. I think we do need to get that food going here. may just have to let this patriotism go. This breakthrough and this revolutionary idea are really good here. You could take strategy, like this hand size problem. So just develop strategy so we're stronger. That seems fine. We know crime wave is coming out. So if we did new deposits, we'd actually have corruption here. So maybe we don't do that. We could put Cold War in. And blue can get up to 14 pretty easily. Yellow does not have a really good path to getting stronger. They have to, I mean, they can. Maybe they have a tactic. And red does something. Another nice thing about this, we don't get the population out this turn, but we do have enough resources to finish Suez Canal. Assuming we draw, I mean, whatever, we'll do it anyway. If we do this, we don't quite have enough. So this does let us do that. Also keeps us stronger, which I kind of like. And we don't have corruption, which we would. So let's go with this. We need to get rid of a card. Probably terrorism. We're not going to play that. Have we seen freedom of movement? No. That would certainly be nice. Come on, autonomous territory. Oh, well inhabited. That's certainly nice. Probably better than strategic. Probably, but we'll see. We developed scientific method, upgrades twice. It's justice system. For 2. Yellow reveals new deposits, so they have 22 resources now. Takes cavalrymen, railroad, and finishes it. Oh boy. Has some corruption, but okay, the age ends. Red reveals that crime wave. Excuse me. Place regality, takes cannon, develops cavalrymen, takes breakthrough, upgrades or builds I didn't see, increases population, builds a cavalryman, takes reserves, and revolutionary idea and organized religion. Goodness. Yeah, red built 2 cavalrymen. And yellow isn't. Alright, so what do we want to do? We could probably seed an event here. Scientific breakthrough's pretty good. We also have no idea what's in the deck, and I suspect we're not going to get stronger. So maybe we just let that sit here, and maybe we can build a journalism. We have a lot of resources, so perhaps we finish this. Don't want to click that yet. Probably can't undo that one. And some extra yellows are good. This food becomes a little less critical to upgrade. We build one of these. Really, we can build 2 of them. Wonder if that's greedy, though. Now we just need a new government. And then I guess we would be looking for, I don't know, not Marlena or Charlie. I mean, maybe. Fleming would be good. Not Pierre. Although, yeah, we do need to fix happiness, although not immediately. But we do probably need to do that. We can do team sports or organized religion. Team sports is probably better, especially with Pierre here. So what we're not getting is air forces here. It's not an immediate problem, but it will definitely become a problem. So I think we're being greedy here. This something safer might be more like that. Air forces and team sports. We never did get a tactic with cannons in it, did we? So while riflemen's here, we could colonize strategic. And then we would not be weakest, so we'd be a little bit stronger. And then we could play an event to get scientific breakthrough. What does our turn look like if we don't have population here? We can't increase anything, so we could upgrade that. And there's kind of not a whole lot to do after that. We take engineering genius to use on the canal. If we didn't finish it, I guess if we finished it for strategic, we wouldn't be doing that. But maybe we wait a turn on this for some reason. I'm not totally sure why, but we don't have a population to put on journalism now. We could close. Oh, maybe we still do that. Still discover architecture. But take team sports and we'd be at 18 and have some stuff, some cards, many of which we'd have to get rid of, I suppose, which is not great necessarily. But in terms of cards we want, I mean, we want air forces here. Probably want team sports. And we could do that. It just means we don't build the journalism this turn, which is probably okay. And team sports over is probably fine over professional in this case. You don't have a lot of, I mean, they end up being the same. Well, I guess this is only 3 with architecture, right? So cheap. And this is 4. And there's really, I mean, we could take these 2, but then we can't finish the canal. And I mean, that 2 science difference could make a difference when we only have 6. Which is a good reason to maximize scientific breakthrough. Although we can't really, unless we get greedy here. I mean, we finish this, get some people, build one. So I think there's probably a couple of options. After looking at all that, we do this and take air forces, and then we just hope that one of these, well, I guess it'd be this team sports or professional sports sticks around. We could build another one. I think that's, then we can take team sports. I think it's probably too greedy here. We could do fundamentalism even, actually. Because our science production's pretty good. But I don't think I want to go for that. I'd rather wait. I don't think I want to use my population here. I want to keep it for something. We don't have a tactic. We could consider riflemen in team sports. But That doesn't feel right. We could take team sports and something else like frugality. Not sure the engineering genius is going to happen. We could take team sports and get more food for Red Cross. So we could do that, which isn't bad. I think what I want to do here, though, is build one of these. And since I have some military issues, take the Air Forces just as a... I mean, I get it for 2, so it's a little cheaper with Darwin. And then we just have that in case we need it, and other people don't have it. We can defend everybody, so that's fine. Blue is probably going to get to 14, so we won't be weakest, hopefully. So I think I'm going to do this. Get rid of 2. So I can probably get rid of this strategic territory now. I don't think I'm going to put that in. And the war, I guess. I don't imagine I'm going to do this war. Iconoclasm. I mean, that could happen. Cold War, maybe. Politics, strength, maybe. Popularization of science definitely could happen. I think the war is less likely here. Oh, we got a different war. Okay. Impact of agriculture goes with Red Cross a little bit. There's mechanized ag. We'll see. So blue reveals that scientific breakthrough, which is pretty nice for us. Develops justice system, increases population, finishes the Kremlin. Takes organized religion, develops it, upgrades, takes frugality. Alright, so they stayed weakest, which is nice for us. Yellow reveals arms industry. That does not do anything. Yellow takes multimedia, develops it, increases population twice, develops cavalrymen, builds a multimedia and cavalrymen, and adopts phalanx. So they're stronger and more science. Culture. Red tried an aggression against blue, blue defended. Red breakthroughs a organized religion, upgrades, develops selective breeding, takes riflemen reserves, and then upgrades one. Okay, so we're still not weakest. So we could play an event. Popularization of science seems pretty good. What do we want to do on this turn? So team sports and professional sports stuck around. So we could get into this professional sports. I mean, we probably should take that regardless. It's 5 versus 3. It'd be nice to build another journalism there. More science and more culture. And then what else do we want to do? There's no computers. I guess we could take a military tech just in case, like modern infantry. So at least we have some path to get stronger. Seems important, probably. Guess we're gonna leave revolutionary idea. It'd be nice to have it, but we don't have any things to efficient upgrade right now. Maybe computers later on. But there's not a really good reason to do that. There's actually not a single leader that would want us to get to computers. We already have these journalisms, so that doesn't seem like the most best option. Yeah, we want to be... Did we see Ravages of Time? No. So yeah, professional sports is definitely a good backup there because we have Hanging Gardens. And so, I mean, I guess we can just build one of these. It helps us be a little stronger. Is blue going to get stronger this time? Yeah, I mean, they're kind of in the same situation, right? They still can't get a population. They can get 2 stronger. So we sort of still don't need to worry about that. So maybe we just put popularization of science in and go from there. Okay, that's fine. That wouldn't have changed much from last turn. That's good. I mean, we did get more food, so upgrading the selective breeding is less important, probably. So leader-wise, I guess Fleming or Churchill or, I don't know, Pierre now, since we'll have professional sports. Now we have corruption, though. Fortunately. We don't really need professional... Let's see, what is... That's... is that any better? Not really. So we don't have a good way to spend the rest of our stuff. We can't build that. We could build one of those, but that seems very unnecessary. I guess we could do that. Could actually develop modern infantry. Oops. We increase populations. Let's not do that for a sec. Modern infantry, patriotism. Now our hands full. That's no good. It's not too bad. I mean, now we're in a better position to defend also against everybody. We can keep upgrading those. We get some patriotism. We get some extra resources there. That's pretty good. Fundamentalism, I guess, is an option too. Are all the governments left? Yeah. So at least Blue and I would want to get into a government. So what is fundamentalism? Is probably not right here. It's a little too early, I think, to go there. So yeah, I don't want to do that. We don't have to get into professional sports, but having it is great. And we build a journalism. Yeah, this is pretty good. And maybe we will draw a tactic that is useful for us. Now let's not get some like cannon tank tactic right after we get into here, into this modern infantry. Because that is a reason to not do modern infantry, potentially. Yeah, if only that got us out of corruption. We also cannot defend very well here, and might as well do modern infantry instead of putting something into cannon. Might as well. So we need those two. Get into this. We'll build that. And upgrade selective weaponing. Okay, let's go with it. Two cards. Impact of agriculture is fine at the moment. Maybe we won't play politics of strength. What's the benefit of iconoclasm for us right now? I don't think there is much. We get cookout, but we'd also lose Darwin, which is 5 culture. And I don't really want that to happen. Some shenanigans of like getting rid of a leader in the last stage, but I don't think so. Okay, it's a lot of wars. But look at this tactic though, right? That's perfect. And so maybe these wars actually we can do something with them. All right, blue reveals national pride. Well, that's good for us. Plays revolutionary idea and tanks and military theory and develops tanks, disciplines a warrior, builds a tank, adapts phalanx. So still weakest though. Yellow reveals developed territory. Okay. So we could maybe go to that. Go to 4. This lets us defend. I mean, I guess we could potentially go to 5. Can't go more than that, then we can't defend. Probably not going to win. Don't particularly need it either. This is probably not the territory we would want. Although it would get us some more resource production, which is good. Yeah, I don't think this territory does a whole lot for us here. We don't need the science. We don't really need the yellows. And the blues are fine. I mean, we have this tactic now. We have the Great Wall and cannon and air forces and 2 wars. So I imagine that there's going to be an opening for a war here once some of this straightens out a little bit. I mean, even if we don't war, I mean, we're up by a lot. We're producing more culture. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to threaten us here much anymore. And this territory doesn't do a whole lot, you know. This we're down by 7, so we could get rid of the card and just this other tactic. That would be fine. If we try to increase it like with this up to 5, I have to get rid of the card and 3 other cards. So the tactic's fine, impact of agriculture's fine, I guess Cold War. But I probably want to play that event. So I'm not real interested in getting rid of it. You know, you can do something like that, get up to 4. I think we could actually just play this too. That would get us to 5. And then we have 10 to defend, just be the 2 defense cards. I don't think we're going to get it for this anyway, but I probably would be willing to go to this. So let's try. Yellow wins it for 7. I don't think we could have done better than that. Yellow, yeah. We didn't win this. Yellow one and sent a swordsman and a card. Increases population, builds a cavalryman. Increases population, takes air forces, develops it and builds one and takes reserves. So they're getting some military going. And red reveals immigration, which is bad for blue. Takes air forces and Lena. Develops riflemen. Develops air forces. Upgrade to warrior. Upgrade to knight. Got the Nobel Prize with those two things. And now it's our turn. So we have to be pretty careful about... We were just talking about how we might be strong, but it seems like everyone's in that situation here. We are not the weakest, so we could put an event out there. It's actually nothing that we need to be not second weakest for. Basically, Cold War has already happened. Okay. And I don't think we're going to get stronger here either, or strongest. So we'll probably be able to play an event. Maybe we could put Cold War in, but I'm a little more hesitant now that everybody's so strong. We could put Impact of Agriculture in. Yeah, we could do that. Let's see what the turn looks like for a second here. So cards I'd like to get that I don't think we can right now. Democracy would be nice. Oil and or computers would be pretty good. Maybe a yellow. We don't need Chaplain. Manhattan Project could be nice. But we don't really produce a lot of resources, and we need... It's a lot of actions for us right now. So let's see. We could do Canon and Professional Sports. We have to get this Professional Sports thing fixed pretty quickly. Red has a lot of food. How does Red have so much food? But we're using all of our Red Cross food here, unfortunately. Maybe we don't do that one. Maybe we take a swordsman. And a religion. Okay, let's go down here. Yeah, so I mean, one option is you actually get the tactic. I kind of don't want to reveal yet that I have the tactic, if I can help it. So instead of that, what if we put it down again, just to keep some food around? Build one of those. Can't. So now we're only down by 6. We're second strongest. And yeah, we can still take one card. We do get the Nobel Prize, which is nice. So what card do we want? Efficient upgrade. So there's another oil, there's another computers. Maybe upgrades to multimedia, because we don't have a lot of resources. Some resources could be nice. Along the idea of not having a lot of resources, you could take oil. But I really think we would need to get into oil this turn to make it worth it. And if we get into oil this turn, then we can't get air forces next turn, and we need to be able to get air forces to defend against yellow. I mean, yellow, unless blue takes Manhattan Project. Maybe blue will do that, actually. That would certainly be helpful. They could even finish it. But if blue doesn't take Manhattan Project, then yellow can get 13 plus 2 plus 3, 18, 49 strength. And I think with an air forces, we can just get that with our tactic. Pretty close. If we were going to do oil, it would look a bit like this. So we're down by 10, but we can still defend. Now we're producing 10 resources. With efficient upgrade, we can get to 13, 12, 13. Yeah, because of Suez Canal, 13. And that's probably all the upgrading we do. So then we would actually get a population off of here we could use somewhere and save us some food. We would have to get into professional sports next turn before we can do much with population. I mean, I guess we can just, again, we can tear that down. We can tear that down. If we upgrade this for 3, we have 7 resources plus 10, 14 resources. And we need 12. So we would have enough to get our army out. The risk, again, is we can't get air forces. Without air forces, we would 17. Yeah, I mean, we would not get... I mean, I guess we could build, what, like 3 cannons? I think we could build 3 cannons if we didn't upgrade this. 10, 17. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's close. I mean, we could do that. So it'd be 9 plus 9, 18 plus 5, 23. So we get to 44, which is pretty close. I'm just a little bit concerned that our 7 resources and fewer civil actions are going to give yellow an opening here with more production and more resources. And so we can kind of close that gap here if we can just survive 1 round without air forces. Sort of all that being said, if we go back to the idea of playing an event, we could do that still. Probably impact of agriculture here, and then see if we get a useful event. All right, that's pretty harmless. And it's actually really good that I mean, we're just not the weakest when that happens. And if blue does get Manhattan Project or something, it is very possible we would end up being weakest. I don't think we can do oil. I mean, we're going to get 3. I mean, there's a lot of civil actions in this game, so we'll probably get 3 more production phases. So if we did oil, you know, it costs 6 to get up. We would net 3 resources in the end. So they wouldn't be usable now. We wouldn't get it till later. And it's probably not worth it here. So I think we go with this plan. Oh, and then we take a card. I guess it's efficient upgrade. I mean, efficient upgrade is resources, but it's going to be hard to use. I'm not sure what to use it on. Multimedia is the clearest choice here. This urban growth would be a lot more useful. So if, instead of destroying the temple, or honestly, what if we didn't increase population? Yeah, that kind of hurts because we lose our tactic. So can't really do that. And then I guess we could save a civil action by building 2 cannons instead of a professional sports. Because, I mean, we're probably going to need that cannon anyway. We could actually get strongest now too. And then we could take urban growth also. So the only thing we did that's not the most efficient is we developed this professional sports, which got us 4 culture from the Nobel Prize, but didn't quite need it yet. So if we didn't do that, what else could we do? We develop canon, we probably play this patriotism. Something like that. And play the tactic. Yellow is definitely looking for Fleming, that's for sure. Multimedia and opera, so I'd love to take that away from him. You could think about Chaplin as well. But journalism, Fleming would be fine, or Pierre, or Churchill. They're all pretty good here for us. So we'll have 20 science. We can do air forces and professional sports next turn. And we get extra resources. I think this is better. Yeah, so I think the only thing I don't like is we're leaving computers behind. Blue won't take computers, but yellow could. They already have multimedia though, and the computers don't help with any leaders, so I suspect they won't want to do that. But I guess I like this because we're strongest. That's kind of nice. So let's go with that. We might use this tactic still. Are we going to do 2 wars? It really doesn't seem like it. I mean, if blue gets Manhattan Project, it just doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing. Are we going to play Cold War? Maybe. Back to progress wants me to take that computers, doesn't it? Movies, that'll help us with Fleming as well. Just keep Fleming off the board, please. So blue reveals Ravages of Time. Uses the library, blue loses, sorry, yellow loses Colossus. All right, Blue develops military theory, takes chaplain in movies, and elects him. Takes endowment for the arts as well. When Yellow declares a war against Red. Plays Classic Army. Takes and finishes Manhattan Regiment. Oh boy, 52. And Red reveals autonomous territory. Well, at least... No, Yellow left a unit to bid with. Of course he did. Smart. We're in... I mean, we can bid a lot. Or relatively a lot, I suppose, here. Now, the question is... We had 2 wars, we got rid of 1. Are we in a position to do a war as well? We'll have to see what Red does, I suppose. Kind of interesting. Blue has a lot of resources, a lot of military actions, not a lot of food, not a lot of science. So I'm not sure what they do. They'd have to tear everything down to get into military. We can get to... I don't know. I'm not sure if we can pull it all off. We have 11, 15, maybe with Churchill 18. So we could build 2 of these and upgrade. And if we won this, we'd have more resources to upgrade another one. So what would 2 armies be? Be 3, 6, 9, plus 9, 18, plus the Air Force, 18, 27, 32, I think, 64. Is that right? Wow, that's crazy. Man, I wish I had 2 wars. Still, I could do 1 halfway there and 1 all the way there. I'm a little afraid if I did all that against Blue, they would resign. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We should bid for this, right? We can definitely do 10. Could probably even do 13 here. And then we can just upgrade these to get the army back. 13. Think that'll be enough. If we do that, we're going to have to get stronger so we can defend. And what's the plan for that? We have to, like, rebuild. I guess we could just do air forces, right? We would get, basically go, what am I trying to do? 5, 14 more, 46, which would be enough to defend. So I think we can do it. 8, that's cheap. We can do 8. I guess I'm going to use these 2 cards. Otherwise, I have to send my, modern infantry. I'd rather not do that. So we'll colonize with that. And now we must choose. And so what do we take? There's not many turns left. We'll have our next one plus 2 more. So 2 more production phases. On our next turn, we pretty much have to do professional sports air forces build one of each, and then depending on whether we play patriotism, we'll have 1 or 2 actions left to take some resources, I think. So taking food, you could say might help us with Red Cross, but I think getting Red Cross is pretty optimistic here. I guess if we took the food option, it wouldn't be next turn, we would spit it out, but if it came out the turn after that, we'd be able to build, I guess, 3 stages, which is pretty good if we could take it and build 3 with our architecture. So that's not bad for food. Also, if we didn't do that, Red Cross, it'd get us 1 more population. And that population we could use on the war. And I think we'd be able to build everything except the 2nd Air Forces. We'd be able to rebuild another army and upgrade this. Depending on whether we get resources or Churchill or something, we might be able to do more. But we could get that war built next turn without destroying anything. And then really go into the last turn with, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 resources and no population. So maybe we take a multimedia and upgrade a few of them or something. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. The other option without the food is with the resources, we would have to, 2 pop next turn. The turn after that, you increase population, destroy an alchemy, and rebuild a 2nd army, and then do a war or something on blue. Or destroy the 2nd alchemy to get the 2nd Air Forces, and you'd have a bigger war if we wanted to destroy both of these. And then after that, you pretty much can't get any more population, and you have a decent number of resources. Maybe, it's kind of hard to say, but 20, 15. You could probably get up to 16 or 17, depending on how you planned it out, resources for the last turn, which would get you a maybe Empire State if it's still good for you, or space flight. So those are assuming you do the war. If you don't do the war, then you have other options for the resources. You build professional sports or in Air Forces. I don't mean to say Air Forces. Or another professional sports. You get into movies. Upgrade these, and then try to get the wonder, basically. If you go resources, you're trying to get spaceflight or Empire State. If you're going food, then, if Red Cross shows up on your turn, you grab it and take it. Otherwise, you are building out the war. I think both are fine. It just depends on what cards are going to come out. If we were a better player, then we would know what cards are coming, and we'd be able to make the right decision now. But not knowing that, we have to decide. And in this case, I'm going to take the resources. I'm sorry, the food. And we'll see how that goes. So red increases population. Plays reserves. Let's see what they can do with this war. They build a cavalryman. Ooh, and play shock troops. Okay. An Air Force. Oh, wow. Haha. They tied. So their riflemen got doubled with Marlena, and they got 2 shock troops plus an Air Force with a shock troop. That's something. No, that's great news for us that they tied. And now we lose this Hanging Gardens. Well, let's see. Lose the Hanging Gardens, unfortunately. I think it's better than the Great Wall, though, at this point. Either way, the way we fix it is with professional sports. I don't think we have much other option. Movies, this is not really going to work. I guess for Fleming or something is why we might do that, but that doesn't make sense. We also have to get stronger. So we can build one of these that fixes our happy faces for the game. We're not strong enough, so we have to get this Air Force in. Now we have 2 actions and corruption. Oh, yeah. That was something I did not consider in the food versus resources here, is that the food is going to corrupt us more. I mean, I guess if we had the resources, we could just not use an urban growth on this. And we could just increase population again, I suppose. And then what? Take democracy? And get it in 2 turns at the end of the game. It's probably not what we want to do. We don't need any of these. I mean, computers could be good, but we're only going to get 1 turn with it. And we already have pretty good science. I don't think we're going to need to do that. There's also no reason here. I guess we really want... With this setup, we really want Pierre. And Darwin's doing good for us. 5 culture. We could get Churchill. We get 3 culture, and he might give us some resources. I think I want to take military buildup, though. I guess we could take engineering. We already have architecture, so that's like it's not really worth it. I think military buildup, and then that helps us get to this war. So we're still 4 resources up, which is good. We thought we might get 3 from this, but then red got a lot stronger. And we're at 9. So we can defend one of them. But if they both attacked, it'd be a problem. Unless we draw another card, and we might do that. So I think this is what we do. We just have to take the corruption, get ourselves in a position to do a war. Yeah, it's a little tough. We took the food route, so we have slightly less resources to do the war with. But we might need to just get more troops in there to protect ourselves and not even do the full war, and this will help with that. So we have 10 resources, and we're going to be at 9. So 10 gets us 2 cannon, for example. Then we have another army, and we're strong enough, we're going to probably have to do that. So we don't need to use this patriotism now. We have a good home for it later. We have a couple of people we can put over there. And if we use this patriotism, we can't get the military buildup. And then we could increase population instead. We wouldn't have corruption, but I think we're going to use both of these cards anyway. So I think we can end this turn here. We have to discard 1, right? Yeah, do we want to play an event? I mean, we could put impact of progress in, arguably. We put impact of agriculture in, which is going to be interesting when yellow gets into mechanized ag here. Yeah, maybe we just go ahead and... Cold War seems questionable, and it's going to come out early. And with our science, it's likely we can get satellites or civil service. So let's go ahead and put impact of progress in. And then we're into the impacts. Crazy. All right. Now we can end the turn. I know. It's sad. So blue offers us peace treaty. My initial reaction is that I don't want to do this. In blue, it seemingly will be the weakest, and if they can attack blue, I don't want to take away my ability to attack blue. If this was loss of sovereignty, I would be much more tempted. To prevent people from doing wars against blue would be really great here. But if others can do wars against blue, I need to be able to do a war against blue. So I probably need to reject this. The blue played Endowment for the Arts, plays Revolutionary Idea, plays Frugality, builds on movies, destroys a temple. Wow, he's not even trying for military. That's going to be a problem. I'm scared to see what's going to happen. Okay, well, yeah, that war ties. Here comes another one. Yeah, okay. Thought so. Alright, I was distracted by the war. So red just does an aggression. At least he didn't have a war. Takes military theory, plays revolutionary idea. Develops military theory, increases population, plays patriotism, builds up air forces. Upgrades to farms with 68. Glad they didn't have a war. But they have one more turn to get one off. So maybe we declare war and then elect Gandhi. This is gonna be interesting. I imagine we're gonna do a war as well against blue, and he has enough culture to go around for both of us. So we have the war, and if blue resigns, that's fine. At least yellow doesn't get the culture then. So one way to do this would be build these. Well, yeah, build these. 60. So blue is going to be able to build up some military here. At least one more of each of these after they destroy things. So they'll get 3, 5, 3, 8, 11 stronger, 33. So blue's going to take about 25 culture. So they'll be at, I mean, there's plenty of culture to spare. I guess the risk is if they resign. And how much do we want to invest in the war since they're only going to give 7 if they resign. So here's one option. You need to do this in a slightly different order, I think. So let's play these two. Those. So we're at 67. If we did this, at 81. And blue's going to lose, they're going to have about 100. and they'll lose 25, so 75. So we could completely empty them out. But seeing that, maybe they decide to resign. And then we just invested a ton of stuff here and not gotten anything out of it. We can't do the war on yellow, right? Because they can 10, 14. It'd be 3, 6, 9. Is there anything? There's nothing that gives resources. They can only build this army one more time. So they would get in another 2, 8, 16. Get 68. So that actually could be interesting to do the war against yellow here. So if we don't do that, then what else could we do this turn? Like a very, I think, light-hearted war would be we just upgrade this and play positional army at 56. And, so we would get the same amount of culture from blue that yellow does. And then we could do stuff with the rest of our turn. That stuff being really nice to get space flight. But if we had chosen resources for autonomous, we could get it. But I'm not sure that we can, actually. Because now we have corruption. I think this is the second to last turn. So we have corruption. So we only have 11. If we took this, we'd have 15. So we actually can't finish that. There's value to take it away from somebody. But I think we can still look for International Red Cross as an option as well. So if we don't do that, what can we do? It's actually really hard to get out of corruption. We can take reserves. That gets us out of corruption. I guess if we build a professional sports and that makes the war a little bit better. Might actually play this patriotism also. Here. Just for some extra resources and another military action, so we draw another card. And then we can increase population, one of those. But if we use patriotism for the card, then we have corruption. So that's challenging also. And finally, I think we can do this. We can actually take this movies and build it. So now we're getting 4 culture twice, so we get 8 culture for that. It gets us out of corruption for whatever that's worth. We have 9 food for International Red Cross. It sets us up pretty good for Fleming if we happen to get him. Yellow also wants Fleming with Opera. But maybe yellow takes Pierre instead, because they can elect Pierre and get the Olympics. If they take Fleming, they have to get into Opera, and then it's pretty hard for them to also do spaceflight. I guess they could, because they would have 20 plus 4 minus 8 is 16, so they'd have exactly enough for spaceflight if they wanted to get into Opera with Fleming. And then we get Pierre and can't elect him, so that means we don't get the Olympics. Here we can take engineering away from yellow, which would be for impact of progress, potentially. And you can take reserves for some extra resources. So this gets us out of corruption. It gets us an extra military action for a card draw. Gives us some resources for patriotism. If we need to, we can still play military buildup. So, I mean, overall, I think this is a good option. So it's I think it's between this and doing an even bigger war against yellow. Yeah, I think the problem with this plan is that we do get culture from blue in case he resigns. The problem is that yellow can do another war on blue if he has one. And he can do it he can do the war and take spaceflight or something. And blue just can't do too much about it, I don't think. So it actually gives yellow quite a good opportunity. I think warring against yellow, looking at numbers, is not a super great option. I think actually of the three, medium war on blue or a strong war on yellow, or a third option we looked at, I think early on, let's redo the war, is a really big war against blue. And that looks like, I think I want to take democracy while we have Darwin. And then we elect Churchill. We play these. We get some population. We get resources. All right, so we're at 81. That's a lot higher than blue, and it's a lot of investment here. But what it allows us to do is if blue resigns or whatever, yellow can't do another war against blue. If blue doesn't resign, then we get a lot of culture, and we're in a really good spot. If, and either way, yellow either has to defend more military, or put more military in so he can defend an aggression from us, or go after a wonder. He's gonna have a lot of resources, like 24 now, maybe more. There's engineering genius, a lot more reserves in here. So he may have a lot of resources, but he has to take the wonder. He has to take a leader. He has to use those yellows, and he doesn't have a lot of actions to do all of that. All while sort of focusing, he has to get 3 population to rebuild this army. You can get to 67, but that's whatever we said, 11 resources. So he's now down to 9 left total, plus whatever reserves cards he can take. So I think this is the best bet. I think assuming yellow can defend and get the wonder done, this gets us pretty close to being even going into impacts. And if we get democracy, then we have enough science to research it next turn. So we get 3 culture plus 4 for progress, and that's pretty good. We don't draw cards. We're going to do an aggression next turn. And I don't think, I mean, if the age ends, then we have 1 turn to do the aggression. If the age doesn't end, then we're going to draw more cards, and we can maybe play something the next turn. But I think this gives us the best chance here by, 10 culture or so. So kind of a long turn. I think this is the right way to go here. Hopefully we can get into International Red Cross next turn. We'll have 9 food. Plus we can plunder someone for the rest of it and finish the wonder. Hopefully. We'll see. Although, there's a reasonable chance that Red will take International Red Cross. They have a good bit of food here, and they're in a reasonable position to defend. So that could happen. So let's give it a shot. I don't think, well, let's see. Definitely not getting into that tactic. Blue plays Wave of Nationalism. Let's see how they do here. Destroy a iron, build a tank, and copy classic army. And is that it? Take reserves, revolution idea, computers. And they're 32, so they did not resign, and they got to 32. So next big question, what's yellow going to do next? So they get the 25 culture from that. And then what's next? An aggression, that's not so bad. An H2, plunder. Okay, so they did not have another war, which is good. And they increase population, build an arena, professional sports, increase pot building air force, take tanks, develop it. Their reserves upgrade twice and take communism. So it's 65. They didn't draw any cards. Interesting. Red reveals impact of variety. That seems pretty good for us. A little bit better for yellow. This is probably like a 2-person race here at this point. Red takes space flight, reserves, increases population, upgrades 2 knights to modernize the second shock troops, and they're up to 65. Or sorry, 80. I landed the wrong one. Up to 80, so almost as strong as us. So the Agens, yellow loses James Cook finally. So we'll see what they pick up. They didn't get into opera, which means Fleming's going to be not quite as good. And we win the war and get 54, which is really great. And let's see. So yeah, they can... It's a little too late for Pierre now too, because you can't get the Olympics off. So it's probably going to be a Fleming pick. And Red Cross is here. So... do that. Is there anything else we want here? We don't need to get stronger. We don't need... Pretty well balanced, actually. You know, I mean, Red Cross is the plan, so we should do that. We also have this plunder. And blue does not have enough food to take, but yellow does. And let's see, we're up by 16. But they only have 2 cards. They can only defend to 12. So we can, it's sort of an automatic win for us, or automatic win on the aggression. So we want to do it against yellow. Successful, and we take 6 food. And then, actually, so then we do democracy, right? Make our cross and finish it. And get 37 culture for that. Wow, that's a nice turn. We still have corruption, but really, who cares at this point? Play this, but it makes it worse. We have agriculture and progress in. And those are still looking good, especially with democracy. Agriculture's fine. We're going to be up by 90 culture. So that pretty much, I think the game's over, effectively. Yeah, that was really clean. So the getting extra strong doing the war, it paid off because blue didn't resign, which, I mean, they probably should have, if I'm being honest. They don't really have a chance to get anything but last place. It's kind of hard in that situation. I think by staying in the game, you basically let me win. By resigning, you would have made it at least close between green and yellow. Or yeah, me and yellow, us and yellow. So that's it. We can probably end the turn. I don't think there's anything else we need to do here. Democracy was good. 10 resources, but no actions to do anything. So we can go ahead and end the turn here. Yep. Blue looks like took and developed satellites, plays revolutionary idea, plays reserves, develops computers, and upgrades one. Alright, so they're still a little weak, but yellow plays an event and reveals impact of science, so we get 5 for that. So where is this going to end up being close? Maybe between blue and red. Yellow develops rockets, creates a coal, creates a mechanized agriculture, takes Ian Fleming and elects him, takes civil service. So he finally did get Fleming, but he didn't get it with the opera. Red does an aggression against blue, so it might not end up being that close. So you're going to be up by about 50 or so. Build an organized religion, take modern infantry, develop upgrades, so they are stronger as well, so maybe there's impact of strength. Multimedia reserves. Alright, let's see how the impacts go. So impact of progress, I think we put that in, right? Pretty sure. So that's pretty good for us. And impact of competition is going to be pretty good for us as well. Probably good for red too, right? Okay. Impact of happiness, we're okay there. Yep, nothing was really close about this finish. Agriculture, we put that in, and we're fine there. 2 more. Population, not too bad there. And industry, we're not really good there, but it doesn't matter. So nothing too close or exciting about the finish, but a pretty good game nonetheless. Yeah, so what happened in this game? So we actually had hanging gardens early with Caesar, and Saladin, Darwin, and Churchill. The hanging gardens is kind of rough. I think actually finishing the hanging gardens corrupted us, which is even harder to not get corrupted with hanging gardens, it seems. And I think we got iron pretty early and never really got out of it. And then stole the Suez Canal from Yellow because I really didn't want to give Yellow like the extra 5 resource production, but it turned out pretty well. We mostly we had a territory in hand, strategic, I think. And then we drew inhabited. We're able to get that out with Suez, which was helpful. And then we won autonomous, which was helpful as well. That autonomous pick was interesting. I think we were choosing between food and resources, and we ended up taking food, and then that corrupted us the next turn, and it was a little rough, but worked out really well. Pretty lucky, actually. We got red crossed, were able to finish it all in one turn. And, that was this big war. I think Blue made this really poor decision to go into movies. I don't know why they did that. They had Chaplin and maybe just thought, my only hope to do anything is to go for this because I can't do anything with military. But it really didn't work out. Then, I was deciding where to do an aggression, or a war, which player and how big to make it. And we did it against Blue. I think it would have worked out fine if they had resigned, but they didn't. So we got a bunch of culture there. And then our extra strength let us plunder Yellow to finish Red Cross. I mean, that was just a nice finish to the game. I think we had a pretty good number of civil actions and stuff through the game. We had monarchy for a while with Code of Laws, and we took Great Wall and Cannon, and then we drew a tactic, which is super lucky. We had entrenchments, and we actually had positional army also. So I think that was fortunate of us. I mean, you can't win without getting lucky, so that was pretty lucky. And then I think Darwin also served us pretty well in this game. He continues to do well for me. I mean, he was generating culture, and I think we used him to grab strategy and selective breeding, saving us CAs every time we were grabbing those. Seems to be a thing that works well for me anyway. Then we actually lost Hanging Gardens with Ravages of Time, which is always that, and St. Pete's are sort of nightmare scenarios for happiness, but it worked out. So overall, a pretty solid game. It wasn't really clear, I don't think, until the last couple of turns who's going to win. I thought Yellow had a really good shot. If they had another war, it might have been a good bit closer. 35 closer or so. And so if they had another war and Red Cross didn't work out quite as well, could have been very different. But either way, we won. Let's take a look at the standings. And these are the standings for Group 4C. So you can see we got another 10 points for that win, and Vienu got 6 points for the second place. So it all comes down to this last game. It seems like probably no one else can catch up. Even if they get 10 points, it wouldn't be enough. Even if Adam Collette won 2 games, he wouldn't quite catch up. So it all comes down to this last game with Vienu and us. So if we take a look at the group here, so we finished game 2 and game 7, and we just watched game 5. So that leaves game 6 with Ulmrich, Vienu, Adam Collette, and Wolfpack 99. So it all comes down to this game. if Vinu wins and I get second, we'll actually tie, and I'm not totally sure how the tiebreak works, but we'll have to figure that out if that happens. But hopefully we can just pull out the win, and that's what we're going to watch next time in the next game. So we'll see you here for that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. See you then.